All right, girls and boys, our kindies are sitting beautifully up the front, waiting so patiently. Thank you. Welcome, parents and girls and boys, to our NAIDOC Week concert to finish off our NAIDOC Week celebrations this year. This began last year, was our first concert. It was extremely successful thanks to the efforts of many staff and our wonderful children. So we're really looking forward to what our children have produced today. Parents, there are a couple of spare chairs sitting around. Thank you for coming in this afternoon. Girls and boys, remember yesterday when we practiced, in between each class getting up, Mr. Baker was saying we're going to have to be really quiet because Mr. Clark, in between each class getting up and down, is going to sing us a song. No, he's not going to sing us a song. Mr. Clark is going to be introducing some of our Year 6 children to read to you about Aboriginal Australians that have had a huge impact on our country. So you need to be really quiet as each class goes up and the next one comes down. So when you see Mr. Clark come up after the first performance, we need to lower our voices and be listening to our Year 6 children. All right, parents and children, let's get ready to enjoy our concert. I'll now hand you over to our Year 6 presenters, Eddie and Taylor. Sorry, Year 6 and 5. Sorry, Poppy. Sorry. Lily, sorry, Lily.
Welcome to our 2022 NAIDOC concert. All our students will be performing songs this afternoon. We would like to acknowledge Gina Williams, who wrote all the songs that are performed in the Noongar language.
May we acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Noongar Whadjuk people, and pay our respects to the elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and the hope of their people.
The kindies will start off our NAIDOC assembly with a welcome song sung in the Noongar language. Please welcome the kindies.
One, two, Okay, boys and girls, what a start to our concert this afternoon. So boys and girls, in between songs, you need to be sitting there really quietly, please. So, shh, voices off, because we are going to have some of our Year 6 students presenting some information about some Indigenous Australians. So I'm going to hand over to Julia, and we're going to listen to her speech on Kathy Freeman. So Julia.
For my Aboriginal Australian assignment, I researched Kathy Freeman. Kathy was born on the 16th of February 1973 in Mackay, Queensland. She went to Cobbabella High School and later got a scholarship to Fairholme College.
Sorry, boys and girls, we really need to be very quiet coming on and off the stage, please, and in the audience, so we can hear our Year 6s. Shh. Much better. Shh. Right, let's start again, Julia. Can you tell us about Kathy Freeman, please?
For my Aboriginal Australian assignment, I researched Kathy Freeman. Kathy was born on the 16th of February 1973 in Mackay, Queensland. She went to Cobbabella High School and later got a scholarship to Fairholme College. Kathy won her first medal in the 1990 Commonwealth Games, and she was the first Aboriginal to compete in the Olympics. She won her first gold medal in the 400-metre sprint in 1994. In the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, she broke the world record in the 400-metre sprint. In the World Championships, Kathy won a gold medal and got her #1 world ranking. In the 2000 Sydney Olympic Games, Kathy held both Aboriginal and Australian flags as a sign of reconciliation and pride in her culture. She also got to light the Olympic torch. Kathy retired in 2003. Kathy is still alive and now serves her community. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the pre-primaries performance.
Thank you, Julia. And boys and girls, that was really good listening. So can we make sure that every time we're coming on and off the stage, that both the boys and girls moving and also the boys and girls who are sitting, that we are really quiet so we can hear the Year 6s speak about their famous Indigenous Australian. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Now we have the pre-primary with a very well-known song. They will sing this song in Noongar language. Please welcome the pre-primaries.
Okay, boys and girls, remember we said that in between performances, we need to be really careful and quiet because we've got our year sixes who are going to speak to us about another famous Indigenous Australia. So I'm going to hand over to Lizzie and you're going to show Lizzie your best listening skills.
Hello. For my famous Aboriginal Australian assignment, I researched Ernie Dingo. Ernie Dingo was born in 1957 in Geraldton. He went to Prospect Primary School and Geraldton High School. His first career was playing basketball for the East Perth Eagles. In 1989, he did a funny comedy act on the first season of Channel 7's sketch comedy TV show. Ernie continues to act in movies and shows. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Stand up. Behind the line.
Well done, Primary. We now have a song that is believed to be written by Mozart. The Year Ones will now sing the song in the Noongar language. Please welcome the Year Ones.
For my Aboriginal Australian, I chose Kathy Freeman. Kathy Freeman was born on the 16th of February 1973 and grew up in Queensland. Kathy Freeman has become an inspiration for others, and mainly for her achievements. Kathy Freeman has become one of the most famous Aboriginal Australians because of her winning the 400-metre race and then winning a gold medal. She then, after years, quitted running and track in 2003 and then made a book called Born to Run. That also became very successful. Thank you.
Right, everybody, keep going, move up to the slide. Thanks,
Okay, boys and girls, you're doing a fantastic job moving on and off the stage and doing that really quietly. So thank you, because there's just a little bit of a lull in between performances. So that's a great opportunity for us to show our respect and manners. Just waiting for a couple of people. Our respect and manners, and let everybody get organised so that we can make this concert as best as possible. So far, our Year Sixes are doing a great job. So thank you, Year Sixes. And I'm going to hand over to Lily, who's going to introduce the next year group.
The Year Twos will be performing an acknowledgement of country song. Please welcome the Year Twos.
Okay, boys and girls, remember, voices off. Shh. Voices off, whether you're moving onto stage or off stage, voices off. And whether you're seated or not, voices off. And can you bring your attention up onto the stage, please? Because we're going to get our Year Sixes to present up on stage now. So I'm going to hand you over to Talia.
For my Australian Aboriginal assignment, I chose to research Ken Wyatt, who was born on the 4th of August 1952. He is also one of the 10 kids in his household. Ken attended a university in Joondalup and shortly after became a teacher as his first career. He later realised that a teacher did not fit him for a career and became the first Aboriginal to be elected into the House of Representatives and the third Indigenous elected into Parliament. Some important awards in his life are in 2000, a medal for improving Indigenous lives. In 2001, he earned a centenary medal, and in 2018, he made Minister for Senior Australians. Thank you for listening to my speech.
The Year Threes will now sing a lullaby song in the Noongar and English language. This song is about a little girl waiting for a relative to return to camp. Please welcome the Year Threes.
Okay, I'm going to hand over to Isaac, but just before I do, remember, voice is off. Shh, so we can listen to Isaac. He's going to be talking about a very famous footballer that you might have heard of. Shh.
For my Australian Aboriginal assignment, I researched Lance Buddy Franklin. Lance Buddy Franklin is a famous AFL player who has kicked over 1,000 goals, so it means he plays in the full forward position. He has also played over 300 games and is still playing. Lance Buddy Franklin was born on the 30th of January 1987. He attended Wesley College when he got a scholarship to go to school there. He played one game for Perth and kicked one goal in 2004, which was enough to get him drafted to the Hawks in 2005, draft pick number 5. Lance Buddy Franklin has won 4 Coleman medals, which is like the most goals for a player in a season, 2 premierships, which is like the championship, and 7 All-Australians, which is a team of the best players that season. He has also kicked 100 goals in one season at Hawthorn against Carlton at Marvel Stadium. He signed a $10 million deal with the Sydney Swans for 9 years at the end of the 2013 season. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the Year 4s.
The Year 4s will be performing a song about a butterfly in the Noongar language. Please welcome the Year 4s.
Boys and girls, you've done a beautiful job this afternoon. We've got 2 more performances. And we've only got one more Year 6 student talking to us about their famous Indigenous Australian, and that's Erica. So I'm going to hand over to Erica, and she's not going to start until everybody is listening, please, and everybody is really quiet. Whether you're making your way on or off the stage or sitting down, your voices are off and you are listening to Erica, please.
For my Aboriginal Australian assignment, I studied Jessica Melbourne. She was born on the 4th of August 1989 in Darwin. Jessica participated in many shows, such as The Voice. She also won an award for Best Female Artist from the ARIA Awards. Jessica is a famous R&B pop singer and songwriter. She is currently 32 years old and continues her music career. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the Year 5.
The Year 5s will be singing a song in the Noongar language. This song tells us the story of a Coolbardie, magpie, and a Wardong crow as they argue over who is the most Coolbardie prettiest. Please welcome the Year 5s.
Kurangiringuja, Kubadi Wawaram, Morich Kura, Parakura Kaliku, Warakela Yuaku, Warakela Pakura, Warakela Yuaku, you are Morich Kura. Bilya Kubari Banapau Wanginin Nimbau Kwavita Nimbau Kwavita Bana Deutsch Deutsch Wanginin Nuna Pula Kwavita Warambau Chinanin Kubari Aliwa. Wardam Kuwadi Bala Kumbat Bakaju, not a word in Kala, Bala Yuba Kwabada, Warakela Nija, Kura Murdich Kura, Bana Wangin Dimma, Aliwa, Aliwa.
Okay, boys and girls, we've got one more performance left this afternoon. So sitting and waiting really quietly. Shh. Voices off. Listening. Thank you, boys and girls. Boys and girls, those Year 6 students who came and spoke to us about their famous Indigenous person, They only learned that they were doing that yesterday, and they did a really good job of coming up in front of all of you this afternoon and speaking to you about their particular person. So can we give those Year Sixes another round of applause, please, for all their hard work? It was so good to learn about all those famous Australians. Still got a few voices. Can we make sure we turn those voices off? Shh. And we're getting really quiet now because our Year Sixes are almost ready. Still got a few voices right at the front. Shh. And I'm going to hand you over one more time to Lily, who's going to introduce our next performance.
The Year Sixes will finish our concert today with a song about the 6 Noongar seasons. Please welcome the Year Sixes.
There is a reason we've got 6 seasons. There is a reason, Noongar seasons. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Rain is falling down, it must be Juba. The flowers blooming, calling clear days. The nest they collecting all the berry. The mothers try to keep their baby safe. Cover up, I want the body. Cover up, I want more. Cover up, the wildflowers. Cover up, it's getting warm. There is a reason we've got 6 seasons. There is a reason, Noongar seasons. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Mosaic's fire, it's hot to dry up. The jack trees, the season of the year. It's hot, let the dancing begin. Corn, mama caught, jig juggling. Fishing for jilgit, the sun on my skin. Flowers swaying in the warm night breeze. There is a reason we've got 6 seasons. There is a reason, Noongar seasons. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. The butterfly branches out. Let me see the dance for a feet. Flying ants in the 70 degrees. Kiss my mind, pick all the leaves. The heavy rain is pouring down me, welcome. The coldest time, the wettest time of year. The animals pair up to create life again. The blue and purple flowers start to bloom. There is a reason we've got 6 seasons. There is a reason, Noongar seasons. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. There is a reason we've got 6 seasons. There is a reason, Noongar seasons. Nalagona, Markin, Kara. Nalagona, Markin, Kara.
Okay, boys and girls, Eddie is here waiting really patiently. The Sixers are going to make their way back to their seats very quietly, I'm sure. And the rest of us are going to be listening in. You've done brilliantly this afternoon. Only a few more minutes to go, but well done so far. Keep that up for a couple of minutes. Eddie.
Thank you for coming to our NAIDOC concert. Would Mr. Baker like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Eddie. I certainly would. Can we please just start by thanking Eddie and Lily for their wonderful job as compares this afternoon. They did a fantastic job. Girls and boys, Mr. Baker always gets a bit of a frog in his throat when he sees that sort of performance from all of you as children. As a country, we have a long way to go in terms of getting up, standing up and showing up. But I think watching you sing songs in Noongar language, watching you learn about the culture, our culture, the oldest living culture on the earth, and really be immersed in that is something we're really proud of as a staff, and parents, I think you should be really proud of. The children embraced our NAIDOC Week celebration. And whilst this is just the culmination, there's been lots of activities throughout the week just to remind the children about how important it is for us to know who we are and where we've come from. And so I'd like to say thank you to all of you children for the way you've celebrated this week. And as I said, we know it's only a very small step, and NAIDOC Week is just, it may be a week, but it's about continuing these cultural steps for us as a community ongoing throughout the year, and not just in special occasions. But having said that, it's been a fantastic week, hasn't it, kids? And these sort of weeks don't happen, girls and boys and parents, without the hard work of a lot of staff. And I would like to just pass on my thank you, and I know the thank you from the parents and the children to a few individual staff who've had a lot to do with this week. We actually have staff who lead these celebrations throughout our school, and this week has really been coordinated by mainly three staff, which is Miss Emma Code, Miss Amanda Hamilton, and Mr. Mark Cuniff. And I'd just like to acknowledge them and give them a big round of applause for the work they've put in this week. And a special mention to Mr. C. I know, girls and boys, you've been working on these songs. Just a couple more minutes. You've been working on these songs for a little bit of time, and the fact that he's been able to teach you songs in Noongar and you've been able to embrace that and be able to sing that in front of your parents and your peers is a wonderful achievement. So thank you, Mr. C, especially. Can we give him a big round of applause? All right, that really concludes our concert. Mums and dads, we've actually streamed this via our hall camera this afternoon. So if you want a copy of the recording, please just email us and we can send you the link to access that. A wonderful, wonderful way to finish off our week, our NAIDOC week for 2022. Girls and boys, it is now time to head back to your classrooms where you will pack yourself up for the day. Remember, girls and boys, when we're leaving the hall, we need to leave it in a nice, orderly manner and not let the noise levels get too loud. So we're going to start with our pre-primary children. If you could please stand up. And that's not a signal to start chatting to people behind you or in front of you.